Hey everyone, it's Bilar, and I'm going to be talking to you about how to learn to read Upper Prison. This video will contain two major sections. The first section will be a crash course that gives an overview of the layout and sort of how, generally speaking, to read it and navigate it. The second part of it will be a walkthrough where I am going to do a bunch of live runs, narrate my process to you so you guys understand how I make the reads I do and what I am looking for. And we'll keep doing the walkthrough until I get all the layouts that are in Upper Prison. So with that in mind, let's speak about, well, how many layouts are there in Upper Prison? So there are 8 layouts in Upper Prison. There are outer layouts and loop layouts. Outer layouts are layouts where the exit is on sort of the outer side of the map as we look at it, and a loop layout is one where you have to loop around to get to the exit, and the exit will generally be, slightly north or south of the entrance after you've made that loop. More specifically, I'm gonna walk you through a bunch of layout pictures. Before I do so, I wanted to offer thanks to Carve, who initially did all of these great layout guides for Act 1, where I learned how to read Upper Prison from. And since then, I've made some adjustments on my own. I've synthesized a bit of information to sort of how I process and go about navigating it. But by and large, my method is based pretty much entirely off of what Carve has put out there. So if you're interested in seeing his guide for Upper Prison, you can find it at his website, pewehub.gg. And what's important to note is that guide is textual. So if you're more interested in just sort of walking through the layout at your own pace and looking at text and pictures, feel free to go use that website. It's great, and I highly recommend it. With that being said, we're going to actually look at some pictures ourselves right now. And one last thing before we actually begin that is that I refer to layouts a little differently than Carve does in his layout guide. So please be aware of that if you're trying to use both of ours. We have a little bit different of terminology. So with that being said, I'm going to pull out some screenshots. So this is the first layout we're going to look at, and this is the west exit outer layout. As I mentioned, sort of this is on the outside. You don't have to do any looping around. The first thing that is critical about reading anything in Upper Prison is as we enter Upper Prison, we are going to pay attention to the northeast wall of the entrance room and sort of what's to the southeast wall as well. So sort of like this corner, as my cursor's moving, we're going to pay attention to. And that will form the basis of all our read methods. So back to the screenshot about the west exit outer layout. What we'll notice right away as we look at this is that there is going to be a blocking wall here. And you cannot leave the room to the northeast at all from the entrance room itself. When this happens, the exit is always going to be on the west, except in one special case where there's content sort of generated to the northeast here. Like you can see like the outline of another train of another room. That is a very rare layout that rarely happens. If you do see that happen, the exit's actually going to be in the top right here. But with that being said, as we look at this, you can see that if there's this blocked wall here, the exit is going to be on the west in almost all circumstances. So the next layout we're going to look at is the south exit outer layout. We're going to check this northeast wall again. Anytime we can travel to the northeast, we are going to from this first room. As we travel northeast, we quickly realize we sort of get blocked and we can't really go anywhere, but there's this one room that is above the entrance wall over here. Once we recognize that, we're going to know that we're going to be in the south layout. And essentially all you're going to try and do is head primarily south from the entrance as best you can. Most of the times, you're going to have to sort of like do a little zigzagging and go to the west, then head south, go to the west, head south. There's never really going to be an optimal straight path down for the most part. Okay, so after, actually one last thing I wanted to mention about the south exit outer layout is occasionally there might be a second upper room here that doesn't change the layout read. It's still the same thing. what's critical about it is that you can't really go anywhere else here, and there's a couple like small rooms that are just immediately above the entrance. The next layout we're looking at the down left loop layout. So one thing I do is I use different terminology for the outer layouts and the loop layouts. With the outer layouts, I use the cardinal directions. With the loop layouts, I use sort of how your character travels. So as we're looking at this is the down left loop layout because one, we have to go left here, but we have to go left in the following sense. As our character checks the northeast, we realize that this room's blocked and there's no room above over here, so we can rule out the south layout. Then we're going to travel to the west here, and as we travel to the west side, as we're looking here, we want to see how the zone opens up. Because it opens up and I can travel sort of downwards in it, I know I'm going to be in the down left loop layout. And so as I travel down, I'm going to be going down a few rooms, and I'm going to be trying to get my character to make a left as the character faces. So as you're traveling down, your character's left is actually this way. So you will hook the left, and then you will try and connect in the middle here to the exit. The next layout we have is the up right loop layout. It's similar to the down left layout in the following sense. We can go northeast from the room, but we won't be able to go anywhere else here. As we head to the west side, we'll see that in this first room, or maybe the second room, if there was one here, that we can head north or up, but we can't really head south anymore. Once we realize that, we know we're going to be in the up right loop, and we're going to travel up, and we're going to try and go 2 rooms up before we take a right. So this is one room right here, this is a second room, and we're going to try and take a right here and connect to the exit. We get blocked. We have to go up and around and connect again. This is actually one of the worst upright loop layouts there is, but that's okay. It's good to sort of see. Occasionally, you might be able to take a right in this room area right here, and the exit might be a little closer, but as a general matter, it's good practice to try and do the second room here to avoid like random cutoffs or just rooms that don't end up connecting eventually. The next layout is the northeast exit outer layout. This is the most common layout by far in Upper Prison, and it is the one that is super critical to know because of how common it is. So the way we're going to read this is we're going to see that we can travel to the northeast. As we travel northeast, to do that though, we can see that there's content generated to the southeast of sort of this wall here. Once you see that, you know that you are likely going to be in this layout if, and this is a big if, you can also travel north above the entrance. If you can travel north above the entrance, there's content sort of generated past this wall here to the southeast, so you can travel a little bit south, and you can travel northeast from the first room. It is always going to be the northeast exit outer layout. Occasionally, this exit here might be a little more sort of eastbound than it is north, but it'll always be somewhat north and somewhat east. The next layout we have is the up left loop layout. So as I mentioned in the last layout, we go to this northeast wall, we see we can head northeast, but there is no content generated to the southeast of this initial wall. So there's this giant blocking wall here. When I see this, and I see that I can still travel north past the entrance room, I know that I'm going to be in the up left loop layout, and so I will just head up and then make a left once I can. Now we have the down right loop layout. Here, what we'll notice is we can travel to the northeast. We're going to do so. As we're doing so, we see that there's content generated to the southeast. So as we travel to the northeast, we want to see if we can travel north to see if it's going to be the northeast exit. We can't really travel to the north here, so we're going to keep heading to the northeast. once we get blocked at the northeast, meaning we cannot go east anymore, we want to pay attention to what this corner looks like. If it is not jagged, meaning you can't really travel any more east than like what you've seen right here in the corner, you are going to be in the down right loop layout. Finally, in the east/southeast exit layout, we have the following. We'll be able to travel to the northeast. We can see content to the southeast, so we have to check to see if we can travel north here. We can't. We run to this northeast corner and we get blocked. However, as we travel south, we can see that there's a jagged corner and it extends to the east again. When this happens, it is going to be the east/southeast exit layout. Now, one tricky thing that happens occasionally is you can have like a little jagged edge right here, and it might look like it's jagged, but it may not be. What's important to pay attention to is sort of seeing how far east you can travel. If like, you can travel to like maybe like right here before it starts going again, I might be a little tentative or hesitant to say that it's for sure going to be the east or southeast exit outer layout. So I would just keep in mind that to check both. In any event, what you should be doing here, if you don't want to make this sort of corner check, is you're just going to act like it's going to be the east/southeast exit layout. And if it's not, you'll just make the inner loop. So with that being said, that finishes sort of the crash course on the upper prison layout. Hopefully that was helpful. Now we're going to start the walkthrough. And with the walkthrough, I'm just going to run through a bunch of these zones until we find all 8 of them. And you'll see how I do this process in real time. So first things first, I check northeast corner. I see that I can travel northeast. I'm going to. I see that this gets blocked. Okay. I know just based on this, I'm going to be in the up right loop or the down left loop. And what I have to pay attention to is what way the room on the west side of the entrance room opens up. So I go over here, I see it goes both south, and I see it goes both north. Just based on my experience, I know this room right here is going to be a dead end. It is. I check it anyways, and I see that I can keep heading south here, which means that this is going to be the down left loop, and I am just going to follow that. And so I'm going to make a left here. So my character is making a left, even though this is like a right in terms of absolute positioning, or an east turn. So as I take a left from there, from my character, I'll take a left back up towards the warden's quarter, and that will be the exit. So that's our first layout. Very cool. It's one of the loop layouts, and a lot of times people have trouble identifying the loop layouts, and so that's sort of the process for that. I'm just going to mark down that that's the layout we found, so I know, so we can be done once we get all 8. Okay, so I am going to check this northeast corner. I see I can head northeast, and I see that there's content generated to the south here, or southeast. As I go this way, I want to check if I can move north. If I can move north, it's going to be the northeast exit. If I cannot move north, it is going to be something different. So I cannot move north. Remember, this is that one little room that's above the entrance. So I know right now that I am in the south layout because I can't keep going anywhere over to the east here. So I'm going to head in roughly a straight line south as best I can from the entrance and see if I end up in the right spot, which I will. Perfect. So that's 2 layouts down. Let's go again. I'm going to check the northeast corner here. I see that I can travel northeast, so I'm going to do so. It looks like I might be getting blocked. I am blocked, so I'm going to pay attention to which way the map opens up after this to the west here. I can't go down anymore, so that means it's going to be the up right layout. And again here, I'm going to try and travel 2 rooms up. This is the first room here that I'm about to exit. This is the second room. I'm going to go 1 more up, and then I'm going to start heading to the right.
I'm not up to that.
And there is the exit. So I could have taken a right turn a little earlier and it would have been okay. This is one of the nice layouts. A lot of times with the upright layout, there's a bunch of goofy stuff going on this way. And it can mess you up a little bit. So that's why I like going to the second room instead of just taking the first right that I can. Again, check this northeast corner. I see that there's content generated to the southeast. I know that I can move north here. With both those things in mind, I know for sure that this is going to be the northeast exit. And so I will travel that way. I'm running into a bit of issues here because this is a little bit of a complicated room. What I did here was very, very dumb, and I'm going to explain why. When you see this formation, this room up here does not always connect over. I got lucky. If you ever see this, like so, you want to travel to the right first and then go north. This will connect over and you'll see the exit. But if that didn't connect, I would have wasted a ton of time instead of just going over the easy route, which was to head to the right first. All right. Next thing we have, let me just mark that down. So that's 4 of the 8 layouts, which is good. Good spelling on that one. Not too bad. All right, I'm checking this northeast wall. I see I can head northeast. I'm going to, and I see that it's blocked. So I know this is going to be a loop layout already. I'm checking what way it is. It's the upright loop because I can only travel up here. I'm going to go 2 rooms up. This is the second room up here. And then I'm going to head over to the right and see where the exit is. And it's right over there. Now, this is actually might be a pretty cool example of why sometimes this layout sucks, because in certain layouts, what's going to happen with this won't connect here. In other layouts, it will only connect here. So this is why the upright loop layout is one of the trickier layouts in terms of trying to navigate it. I like personally checking that second room because I would rather have to backtrack a little bit this way than get stuck here. But I think that's up to preference, and that's just how I learned to navigate the zone myself. All right, let's see if we get a new layout here. So I see I can travel northeast. I see that there's space to travel southeast. Let's see if I can travel to the north. I cannot at all. So this is going to be one of 2 layouts. This is going to be the down right loop, or it's going to be the east exit / southeast exit. I pay attention to this corner here. It looks a little jagged to me. However, what I care about is this wall. And this wall, unless it extends to the east over this way and allows me to travel more east, I know that this is going to be the down right loop. So I am going to go towards the down right, and there it is. Perfect. So that is another layout we haven't had before. Things are looking pretty good in terms of getting this done quickly. Hopefully I didn't just curse myself by saying that. Good probability, but you know, we'll roll with it. So again, check northeast corner. Perfect. Here is another layout we haven't had yet. This is going to be the west layout. As I look at this, I know this is the west layout because this is blocked right here and that there's no content to the northeast of it as I look, or on the minimap as I look here. When I'm in the west layout, I'm going to travel in a V direction. I'm going to head to the southwest 3 or 4 rooms before I start trying to head north. So right here, I'm going to start trying to head north along this other line. And as I head north, I'm going to keep trying to head over to the west somewhat. And I should connect over, and there is the exit. And you can see how I made a V pattern while doing that. Cool. So that is 6 of 8. Let's see if we can find the final 2 in a relatively short order. Check the northeast corner. I see that it's blocked. We were just in this layout. This is the west loop. I'm going to travel mostly west 3 or 4 rooms, and then I'm going to start traveling north and a little bit west as I can. And there is the exit there. Perfect. So we already had that one, and we just had it recently, but it's good to see that. And again, why we travel southwest first instead of trying to book it just straight west is because you can get jebaited into a huge sort of dead end if you try and head north or up too early. I check the northeast wall here, see I can't go anywhere. I see that this is totally blocked, and I see that I can head to the south a little bit here. So I am already going to assume that this is the down left loop, and I'm going to try and head down and then left when I can. So it indeed is the down left loop, even though I had to backtrack there. It's just about finding the right time, and then I'll take a left to find that exit. Okay, here is another one. Let's see if this is going to be the east exit, which I think it may be just based on what I'm seeing right now. As I look at this, remember with the east exit layouts or exits where you can travel northeast, you need to check if there's content to the southeast. There is here. And you need to check if you can head more north here. You cannot. With that in mind, I'm down to 2 layouts, the bottom right loop, or the down right loop, and the east exit layout. I look over here, I see a lone room. I'm not really worried about that because I can keep traveling this way. What I want to pay attention to now is if this wall becomes jagged and allows me to travel to the east anymore. I'm checking this just to be 100% sure. It doesn't allow me to travel to the east anymore. This is going to be the down right loop. Okay, cool. We got that one already. Still hunting for 2 more layouts. The east layout, and I think, not sure what the other one we're looking for is. We're looking for the up left loop. Okay, so I can travel to the northeast here. I'm going to do so. I see that I can travel north a little bit, but it gets blocked. This is maybe going to be blocked to the southeast, but what's important is if I can go any more east here, I cannot. So this is going to be the south layout because there's 1 room above the entrance and I can't travel east anymore up that way. So I'm going to make a beeline to the south as best I can. Might have to zig and zag a little bit here and there. And there is the south exit. As a side note, I hate the doors in Upper Prison so much. I feel like they don't have a great response to clicking. Or not very responsive would be a better way of phrasing it. All right, I'm going to check the northeast corner here. I get blocked, which means I'm going to be in the up right loop or the down left loop, depending on what happens here. I can only go up, so that means I am in the up right loop. I'm going to try and make a right now and see if I can connect over. I can. Perfect. Okay, now we're looking at this again. I can travel to the northeast. I'm going to do so. Can I travel up at all? I cannot. I see that there's southwest or southeast content here, which leads me down to 2 layouts as I'm looking to read the east exit and the down right loop. To know which one it is, I have to check the corner up here. I can see already that it is not jagged, which means it is the down right loop, and there is the loop entrance. Perfect. It would be nice if we could get the east exit or the up left exit, but sometimes you just get RNG'd here. So again, I can travel to the northeast. I cannot travel to the south at all. I'm going to keep following this. I get blocked. I'm in another loop layout, either the down left loop or the up right loop, depending on what happens after this room. This is the up right loop. We'll run it through. I'm going to travel to the right now and just keep following it to the exit. Perfect. Check the northeast as always. I see that I get blocked again, but I can keep heading up. This is one of the layouts that we haven't seen yet. This is going to be the up left loop layout. The reason why I know this is as I go through, I'm paying attention to this bottom wall to see if I can travel southeast past it. I cannot as I enter this room over here, but I can travel north. In those two circumstances, I know that the exit is going to be over this way and I'll be in the up left loop. So with that in mind, I'm going to try and navigate that way. I am not going to try and connect to the left right here because usually this will not connect. So I'm actually going to go up here first and then start trying to connect to the left. And you can actually see that this room would have connected, but I prefer not to take that risk. So I'll go over this way and you'll see that I ended up in the right spot. Perfect. So that is our second to last layout down. The last thing we are looking for is the southeast exit or east exit layout. So let me just write that down. Because we have seen all the other layouts, I'm going to hunt specifically for that layout now. There's this blocking wall. As I'm looking at this, I know already just by looking at it, because there's a blocking wall and there's no content over it, that this is going to be the west exit. I'm not going to run it. I just know where the exit is. Again, I check this wall. I don't see any content to the southeast. I'm going to see if I get blocked here. I don't get blocked, and I see that there's no southeast content past the southeast wall of the entrance room. That means I'm going to be in the up left loop, and I'm just going to solve this one real quick to show you again. So there you go. There's the exit in the up left loop. Okay, same thing. Blocking wall, no content to the northeast. This is the west exit. Just to help show you, I will go hunt it down. I get blocked here. I want to keep traveling over as best I can. And there you go. There is the west exit. Next layout. Let's see if we get the one we're hunting for.
I'm not up to that
Okay,
just yet.
so I see southeast content. I see I can travel to the northeast. This is looking good so far. There's one room up here, and I can't travel any more east. I know that this is going to be the south layout already, so I'm going to book it that way. And you'll see that as I head in a south line from the entrance, that I get to the exit. And that's awesome. As always, check northeast corner, check southeast. Can't travel southeast. I'm going to see if I can head north. I can head north. I am thinking that this is the up left loop, and I am going to navigate it as such. Okay, I get stuck there. Now, because I got stuck there, I'm already worried that this may not be. Sometimes you can get a northeast exit room that looks like this, where this wall is blocked like this, but a little further along it actually goes south a little bit. If that ever happens, it kind of sucks because it will be the northeast exit and you can't really see it the way we initially navigate the room, but it's something that's good to have knowledge on. It's a rarer occurrence of that layout, but it does happen infrequently. Okay, I'm checking northeast wall. I can travel northeast. I get blocked here. I know that this is going to be a loop layout. Because I'm not being forced immediately up, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the down left loop layout, and it is, because I can keep seeing content heading down, and I am just going to follow that and see if I can connect over. And there it is. All right, I check northeast. I see that there's no southeast content. I see I can travel northeast. I'm going to travel northeast. Here, I'm thinking up left loop layout, and we will see if that bears out. And it does. So you can see, right, if you have a good grasp of how this layout works, that you can navigate it extremely quickly. relative to what you may be doing right now. I'm checking northeast here. I see that I'm blocked. I know this is the up left or up right loop or the down left. I can only travel up here, so I already know that that is the up right loop. I'm going to just reset the zone, go again. Okay, I see that I can travel southeast. I see that I can go northeast. I need to check if I can go north again. I can go north. This is going to be the northeast exit layout. Oops, sorry, my voice just died on me right there for a second. And there is our northeast exit.
I'm not up to that just yet.
All right, let's hunt. Okay, there's a blocking wall here, no content over it. This is going to be the west loop exit. We go again. Sorry, west exit, not west loop exit. Okay, I can see content to the southeast here. I can see this northeast room here. I have to check it to see where I'm going. I see that there's this one lone room up there. I'm going to check to be safe over here to see if I can travel more east. I cannot. It is the south layout. Okay, I am checking again northeast wall. I see that I can travel northeast and that there's content to the southeast here. There's a lone room here. However, it looks like I can keep traveling to the east, so I'm going to keep traveling to the east. Okay, this finally looks like the one room that we have been hunting for this entire time. Because there are two walls here, I am pretty confident that this wall right here is actually the northeast corner, and that this is sort of expanding to the east somewhat. So I think this is going to be the east exit. And so with that in mind, I'm going to go follow it that way, and it is. This is an extremely subtle version of this layout, and this was the last layout that we needed to find. Typically in this layout, what you'll see sort of a big jagged edge. This was very subtle, and it's a nice one to sort of see the difference and how I went about identifying that. With that in mind, that is all of the upper prison layouts that we've run through. I know you've heard me repeat myself a lot on these layouts. Hopefully that was helpful. And, you know, it's a good thing to refer to the crash course if you just want a good sense of where to go. The walkthrough is about understanding the read method and how a runner goes through doing it in a live manner. And then beyond that, I will be posting a link in the description to poehub.gg, which is Carve's textual layout guide of Upper Prison, and also a link to the Imgur album that has all of the layouts that I referenced in the crash course. Hope this helped.